The Bells of San Filipo by Max Brand. Chapter 1. The Man on the Mountain. On the 18th of June, the sun rose only a very few minutes after 4 o'clock to shine over Sierra La Vieja. At the same moment, Jim Gore rose from his blankets in the little lean-to which he had built beside his diggings, and blinked toward the east. The red sun was like a thing of fire, rolling along the edge of the next mountain, through the foresting of great pines, which crowded swiftly across its face. There was only one gap in the thick woods, and just as the sun reached that open space, a man laboring up the slope under the weight of a heavy pack came into the clearing and turned instantly into a jet-black silhouette pasted on the face of the broad sun. It made a startling illusion, but only for an instant. Then the stranger was across the gap in the woods and lost far away in the next stretch of trees. Even such a small thing meant a great deal to Jim Gore, for his life was composed entirely of events of two kinds. Some of them were very great, some of them were very little. When a man faces a blizzard, or when he risks his life through a frightful mountain winter for the sake of drilling away at a hole in the ground, or when he stands gun in hand and barks profane insults at another, ready to kill or be killed, it may be said that he has entered into great moments. But there were not many such moments in the life of Jim Gore. There were so few of them, indeed, that it often seemed to Gore that his life was like the running of a still water, picking up nothing on its clear current. He was 35 years old, and yet his achievements were astonishingly few. Once, in a burst of passion, he had risen to such a height that he had stood up to a gunman with his own weapon in his hand and a stream of ringing insults on his tongue. But the gunman had not chosen to fight. It had not been fear of Jim Gore. Rather, it was a touch of pity, for all men who knew Jim knew that however much strength was in his hands, there was no peculiar skill with guns in him. He was a laborer, pure and simple, a cow-puncher at times, and even a sheep-herder one summer in his youth. But most of his life had been spent wandering through the mountains, chipping at the more promising rocks with his prospector's hammer, and looking at the unweathered interior of the stone with a wise eye. Or else he found some little streak of pay ore and blasted away at it, breaking ground slowly, and grinding up the pay dirt in a coffee mill, as he was doing now. In the last 20 years, Gore...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?